We're back. Hey guys, I missed you. I didn't stay as current as I wanted to, but that's how life goes. So, something I want to talk about today that really I never saw it coming. It's something that I want to talk about literally because I didn't see it coming. Michael Bisping might be the baddest dude of all time. What a nut. Did you guys see that on his podcast? You know, where he pops his eyeball out? Do you guys remember that? Did you see that? That blew my mind. Listen, we all know that Vitor Belfort kicked his eyeball out of his head January 19th, 2013. We all saw it. It was the most steroided up, testosterone fueled Vitor Belfort we had ever seen. It was during Vitor, in my opinion's heyday. It was back when TRT was legal. Do you guys remember that? And were the fans back then that are watching this? TRT was legal for a while in the UFC. Vitor Belfort took full advantage of it and kicked Michael Bisping's eye out of his head. People talked about it for a long time, Michael Bisping's eye, because it looked funny, and I know that it looked different. And I know that Joe Rogan talked about the reason it looked different was there was oil in it. They were putting oil in his eye to keep it to where he could see. It was a functioning eye. Seeing what I saw the other day and the way that Bisping framed it up was that he might have been hiding that fake eye from the commission the whole time. And if that's the case, Michael Bisping is the most talented fighter in the world. Not only are you competing in the highest combat sport table there is, the UFC, your sport is a game where your life is literally on the line. You know, I don't want to be dramatic, but I'm being serious. Your health and wellness sure is. Look at his eye. And he decides to play that game with one eye. That's crazy to me. At the highest stages, the scariest people, the game that minor mistakes cost you majorly, he does it with one eye. Think about that. Close your eye and drive. Close your eye and just look around your house. Tell me the disadvantages you have. Since July 19th, 2013, Michael Bisping holds wins over Alan Belcher, Anderson Silva, Luke Rockhold, the Dan Henderson rematch. He has fought, he didn't win, but he fought GSP. He fought Kelvin Gastelum. He holds a few more, CB Dollaway. I just didn't put those down. I wanted to use big names that everyone's going to know. He fought these guys with one eye. Listen, Michael Bisping ended up taking a bad boy approach. He started being the rebel without a cause. He started being the, almost like a Chael Sonnen. You know, he played that up majorly when it was the UK versus USA Ultimate Fighter. Do you guys remember that? The whole world got behind Dan Henderson. I don't think Dan Henderson's stock has ever been higher, and that's thanks to Michael Bisping. Nobody else. Bisping spit on a quarterman. You guys remember that? It's kind of messed up, Michael. He started playing that role, and he liked it. People like my wife would always say, like Michael Bisping, words are hard. Like Michael Bisping or not, he's a great fighter. He's not a good fighter. He's not an okay fighter. He's not a really good fighter. He's a great fighter, like him or not. This proves it. It's incredible. I hope it comes out in the long run that it was oil in the eye and he didn't have the fake eye while he was competing against the people like Dan Henderson, Anderson Silva, Kelvin Gastelum, George St. Pierre, Luke Rockhold. Michael Bisping won a world championship with one eye. Are you guys wrapping your head around this? With one eye. There are really good fighters who have never won a belt with two eyes. This guy possibly did with one eye. Think about that. Think. Nick Diaz comes to mind. Nate Diaz comes to mind. These really good fighters. Really, really good. And if you would have said 5 years ago that one of them won the belt, you would have believed it. They were that good. Yeah. Michael Bisping did it with one eye. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe it. I've always been a fan of Michael Bisping since he was on The Ultimate Fighter. I just liked him. He just had that it factor. The only time I ever rooted against Michael Bisping was when he fought Rashad Evans. That's it. It's the only time I ever rooted against the guy. I just liked Rashad. I really, really was happy for him whenever he won the belt. He was a journeyman. He was tough as nails, talented as all get out. He was personable when he wasn't playing the bad guy role, when he wasn't being that guy to sell fights, when that became how to sell fights. You guys remember he would take his son in the octagon after his wins, and he would let his son show off some kickboxing moves. Like he would hold his hand, his son would spin and kick it or whatever. Maybe throw some punches and kind of move around with his son. It was really cool because you got to see who Michael Bisping was. And I liked that about Michael Bisping. I like him a ton. I like his podcast. I like the crap that he talks. I guess I like his sense of humor. That being said, how are you not a fan of him now? How are you not a fan? If you don't like Michael Bisping, I think it's your fault. You ever heard of that term, a three-legged dog in a butt-whooping contest? I heard that a lot as a kid. That's tougher than a three-legged dog in a butt-whooping contest. He's tougher than a three-legged dog with a butt-whooping contest. How about a one-eyed man in a fist fight? An agreed upon, sanctioned fight. Yeah, it's a sport. I get it. But it's also a fight. They're fighting. And it blows my mind. It blows my mind that he had such a passion for something that he held something from commissions. He lied and said that his eye was okay so he could continue to compete in a sport that he loved. It's unbelievable. My question now, though, comes, can he be in trouble for eluding? Because he never said he fought with those. He never said, I competed with one eye. He never said that. He eluded, like, well, I've been hiding something from commissions, or, he said something along those lines. Eluding that his eye was like that from the jump, or since January 13th, 2019, or January 19th, 2013, sorry. He alluded that that's how his eye has been. Can he be in trouble for that? I don't know. Can anything come back and get him? I don't know. His last two fights were against George St. Pierre, where he lost, and his last fight was against Kelvin Gastelum, where he lost. A lot of athletes. I'm not going to be good at merging this. It's going to be my first time. I'm actually Googling how to do it on an iPhone. What I was saying is a lot of athletes can't leave on a high note. Or low note. Well, I should edit that out too, huh? A lot of people can't leave on low notes. They come back. Look at Chuck Liddell. Look at several of these people. They can't leave when they're at the top of their game. And it's going to be difficult to watch Michael transition out. Hopefully he just stays out. Hopefully his last two don't mean anything to him since he was a champion. Hopefully it's great that way. But I said all that to say this, and I bring that up to say this. He's screwed if he ever wants to come back for a one-fight spinoff, against someone up-and-comer or someone who screams in his face all aggressively in a post-fight. Even if Michael wanted back in, he's not going to get to play that game anymore. Hats off to you, Mike. You're terrifyingly good, and you sacrificed a lot for this sport. Literally, I can't even tell you how much you have. That's crazy. Gave you a lot to think about. Let me know what you think.